Good evening, everyone. I can't hear you. You said it? Great. I like that.
We all listen.
For who don't know me, and I see a lot of people in here, you like family, you know me. I'm very appreciative to be here with CHN having this conference this afternoon. But the fact is, I did 7.5 years with CHN. Back 2004 and stuff like that. It was a really great challenge as well as a success because now I own my own foundation, my 501c3.
Yeah.
So my mission entails provide trans community with the tools needed to achieve their personal goals. That's before, after, and during, or for the future. And I have in a sense of the community and kinship. And why I choose community and kinship from various standpoint is because kinship is family, and we try to integrate back the community with their family or extended family, whether it be bio or extended. So we also lead the most productive life during and after transition, like I said, regards to health, employment, and day-to-day social interaction, because there are a lot of individuals, especially the trans-masculine individuals, who don't know that I held the first conference forum here for the trans-masculine individuals, and it was like statewide. So I had all my brothers come in, and I needed to see something like that happen here in New York City. And if you go on the CDC website, you will realize that before, the Asian community and the transgender community had no prevalence or statistics where numbers is concerned. And I did a research back in 2009, 2010, and that was on the CDC website. For those who don't know, I'm giving more background. Been there, done that, PPG, state and city. Beat the steps of City Hall. Was the original founder of Trans Justice that is now at ALP, but was still at ALP, for those who don't know, and came to the cracks and thinking who can watch it is. So as we move forward, and at the end, you can ask me a couple of questions. I have my business card, as well as had most of my members sitting in the front, so they can share anything that you want needed. You can talk to them. Yeah, they're successful. So what's relevant? Instead, you see, I don't identify as trans woman, I just identify as a female. And basically because for my own personal journey, not for others. Or I identify as affirmative because I'm affirmative and I live an authentic lifestyle. That's for me, not for another person. I can't speak for the larger community. Trans, and the thing I like to strategize and target, although at my clinic, I oversee 2 clinics and you will see the forms coming through, and that's in the Bronx, and we do specifically trans care with my clinic. Nothing else, no LGB, and it's not that you're not part of my family, but we needed something specifically for transgender individuals for that job to come through and be safe and get taken care of. I have a team, 2 providers plus 3 therapists and a psychiatrist, and I also have a nutritionist and my medical director. He's very awesome. He makes sure that I get what I need, or basically it's not about me, my clients get what they need. So some of the reasons reported here have been, we talk about cost of care. And I love when Christine and Michael spoke before, because we talk about a lot of things, and then Christine talked about healing. And basically, I was coming in to do about healing for trans women and people of color, because a lot of individuals, like Christine said, they go through trauma, child sexual abuse, intimate partner violence, and all of these things, and all these things cohere when they grow up to adult. So I was coming through with that because I'm a consultant for the How Intervention that strands from UCLA, a branch of consultant from UCLA at this moment with Dr. Gail Wyatt, and I've just finished 2 cycles for healing our women. So basically that. The lack of education and personal biases. So back a while ago with the Southern Conference, we always talked about, there was a trans-masculine individual. He always smoked, and he never had cancer in his throat. But because he presented as a male, no one wanted to give him care because he presented as a male and he had to have a GYN done. And no one wanted to touch him because they were ignorant to the fact of how can I treat a trans-masculine individual as for OB/GYN. And he got ovarian cancer. And when he really went to be treated or get treated, it was too late. He passed away. So now, in strength of him, we had the Southern Conference for many, many years now that happened in Atlanta around the September after Labor Day. So, quotes from the community when it comes to trans-masculine individuals. And as you might see, I'm not talking about too much about the trans women because everybody thinks that everything it says trans is about the women. There's a lot of things, invisibility where the trans men is concerned, or the men of trans experience, or the affirmative men, is that's what CK Life hold on to. Affirmative men and women are not trans anything, because you transition, and as soon as you transition, it's up to you to identify, but as long as you're affirmative man or woman, that's what you live with. Don't let anyone take you back after you start medical transitioning and doing top surgery and bottom surgery and stuff, and they still want to bracket you, oh, there go that trans man. Some people say, oh, there go that trans woman, Kim Watson, but obviously they don't say it to me because they would be corrected. So some things we heard is like, I don't even know what a dental dam is. Right? And it's so obviously, I don't use them, I love the taste of a woman, so I'm not going to use any whack-ass berries, correct? So they got some people also, when they tell people how they identify, as Michael stated earlier, as a trans man, or they identify as trans MSM. So a lot of people think that a lot of trans men are not gay and are either sleeping with cisgender men or sleeping with trans men. And that's the myth that people need to get away from, that this is happening. You can be transgendered or affirmed, and you can identify as lesbian, gay, or bisexual, but your sexual orientation has nothing to do with your gender identity. Some people we've done research in the past, and if you can go to my website, we've done research on trans-masculine individuals who are MSM, and so sex is everything, anal, oral, frontal. When I say frontal, we use a lot of lingo because we don't identify a man. There's no way that we can say a man and we can use the other word because we say just frontal. And that's out of respect for the trans-masculine individual. And that's what my foundation was able to bring. And that's what my whole intention and journey was supposed to do, to make sure that the trans-masculine individuals were recognized and be treated as them. And if they can't be treated as them, you take me along with them. But I ain't even going to go with them now because, as you see, I have my own foundation in my clinic. So I don't have to deal with that. My men are safe, right? Good. So, a couple more quotes is like, me sexual, they like anyone, that click, you know, many trans men are willing to afford safer sex practice, and a lot of people think, like Michael said earlier in his presentation, a lot of trans guys a lot of people might have the myth that trans guys cannot contact HIV and stuff like that. So I'm just telling you, out of a lot of my clients, both trans women and trans men are dealing with HIV because HIV was my background as an educator. So I think that I had to encompass that within that and let them speak up. And a lot of my clients are they confide in me and they talk to me so that I can help them and meet them halfway in that path so that I can help them as much as I can. Because for me, as a younger girl, I'm not telling my age, but I didn't have any resources here in New York City. And being an immigrant coming from Barbados, it's like I come here and I gotta fend for myself, you understand? So a lot of people never know that about me because I never talk about it. And these days I'm being very upfront and I'm letting people know. Not only that I'm here in America, but I'm also from a Caribbean descent. You know? So there's some useful terms and definitions which people want to discuss and talk about. Oh, well, if you're a trans man, you're a dyke, you're a lesbian, oh, you're still a woman, you're still this, you're still that. That's very disrespectful. That doesn't happen in CK Life.
It's not accurate.
At all. So news identified a person who was female bodied at birth, or who identifies as a male, lives as a man, and identified with their masculinity. A trans man for short, female to male transsexual, or transsexual man, sometimes always used to refer those who are assigned at birth and identity along with a masculine spectrum. So trans MSM is male to female trans individual who have sex with men, whether cisgender or trans men. This could include other trans men or cisgender men as for that here. And these are additional terms that some people tend to bury with them, like the androgynous, the boy, the cis, the FAB, and when we get time, you can ask me the question, genderqueer, gender nonconforming, gender variant, her, MAAB, M2M, tranny fag, Z, and Zer. So, procedures that trans masculine men have, they do body contouring, centurion, and you can question me, chest reconstructive surgery, which is top surgery, HRT hormone replacement therapy, hysterectomy, metalloplasty, PET implants, phaloplasty, skin graft, and vaginectomy. So these are the things that trans masculine individuals go through, but people see a person standing and see them with this big, oh, you got beard and everything, but don't know internally what they're really going through, you know? So, findings and data, trans men's sexual orientation. And we have a high percentage who are homosexual, which is 84.4%. And nobody would never believe that, do you? So today I'm bringing you some questions and giving you some question marks. I'm making you very confused, and at the end you can reach out to me when you want to. Heterosexual, which they label themselves also as stealth. Stealth meaning that you're in the community. I'm heterosexual. I'm a heterosexual woman, and I expect some men that say they're stealth or non-disclosed, be a man. They just want to be who they are and move along. They don't want to mess with the whole community and talk about trans this and trans that, and that's my main goal and my foundation for my clients and my members. The risk factors, they have bisexuals, men and women sleep with 3%, that's very low. The risk factors is sexual activity, which a lot of people think that whether you use a frontal, you use an anal, whatever you do, you perform fellatio or whatever the case may be, you still have to wash those stools if there's stool, if you're with a cisgender man or female of your sexual orientation, that's on you. That's your door and your four walls in your bedroom. You don't need to tell me. Sometimes when it comes to grant funding, you need to tell me at least one high risk. There's hormones. It's real. And that's one of the things. To let you know, my organization, my foundation is yet to get a private funding or governmental funding. This is all coming out of my pocket. Since 2007, what I did, I needed to come down the platform of the HIV. And a lot of people say, oh, well, she's doing this, she's doing this. But government never give me no money. Private settings never give me no money. But I have a website, I have everything. My corporation is working very beautiful. And in the Bronx it has put on the high ratings on 100% of quality and not quantity service for healthcare. Some of the risk factors is hormone usage, substance abuse, and mental health. And mental health is a very important situation that for whether you're male or female, you need mental health therapy, even if it's a therapist. You need to talk to somebody. Sometimes I take up my life coach, which was inspired by my very great friend, back there, and he sat in my office when I was at CHN, and he was doing his life coaching, and he spoke to me, and I was like, well, I want to be a life coach too, because I do all this work. I need someone to, talk to people. And I need you to let you know for all these years, you inspired me to go and get that.
A round of applause for Christian Yoga.
Just to let you know, I haven't seen your ears yet. So, that I pick up the phone, I listen to stuff like that, and do my life coach when I need to. Recommendations is to better, safer sex education for trans men. Community, funders, everyone, please, as you leave this room, have an inclusion of trans men and understand that trans men could be sleeping with another man or woman with their orientation, especially trans MSM. Because a trans man is gay, that don't signify you gotta pop up with questions. Oh, wait, well, how come you gay? Why did you do that? No. Why did you transition to be with another man? That's none of your business. That's their business. If they want to be a freak in their room, let them be a freak in their room. So that's what I do. Studies specifically focus on trans men. Instead of running around and saying, okay, well, trans women this and trans women that, yes, we know what trans women do. Trans women have turned the world out. They're actresses, they've done everything, there's professional singers and everything. And my brothers, they are doing the same thing, but they're hiding. They're not visible. So my thing is to make them visible at all times. Do studies specifically focused on trans men and education for researchers to report accurately. So right now, we just started 2 weeks ago, and CK Life is doing a risk assessment for all for both clinics and all our clients. So to see how they feel their health disparities are concerned. And this week I was at John Jay College, I was at Columbia, and I was at Hunter. I host and I rented the classes and stuff. So this is thing that I'm passing on information to. And one of the reasons that I always do this is because, as our motto said, I'm true to myself as well as others, and I never had resources in New York City. I've never had a resource. This is me. There's no one at all, period. It's tough. And I still ain't telling you my age, because I know I look like 20, and that's it. So, if you need more information, you can either contact us, and remember, be true to yourself as well as others. And to divert, at this moment, I'm legally married for the past 7 years. I have a 4-year daughter that she keeps giving me energy. She's awesome. I think that, she's doing an exam in January for gift and talent because she talks too much and she does everything. And I don't know where she get it from, but people say that she got it from me. But I don't know where she got it from. A diva got me a diva at all times. I live my life authentically, and I've been around the block, I've been around the world, I've done so much things, and I did not do them especially for me. I did them for individuals that are out there that heard about resources but did not know how to navigate those resources. And that's what I did. That's what Communication Life is all about. I have cards I've sent around the groups. Oh, as you see, I have a group, right? But you must RSVP because I prefer, and CK Life will rather have individuals who are men and